Hello guys, good afternoon. You are welcome to my YouTube channel, the Explicit Tutorials. As you all know, my name is Tutor Joseph. In today's video, I shall be taking us a topic called what? Skeletal system in AB122. Alright. Skeletal system is that part of the body that brings about what the movement of the body. That is, it is called what? The body framework. Now we have different types of what? Skeleton, and we have joint. Joint is a place where two or more bones meet in order to move or what? Articulate. Now we have different types of skeleton. We have the exoskeleton. The exoskeleton is a characteristic feature of what? Phylum Arthropoda. Phylum Arthropoda. Alright, skeletal tissue, skeletal system is a characteristic feature of what? Phylum Arthropoda. You know, Phylum Arthropoda is made up of what? Insects. It has, we have class Insecta, class Crustacea, class Arachnida, and class what? Myriapoda. So please, they all have what? Exoskeleton. Now, this exoskeleton is made up of what? Chitin. It's made up of what? Chitin. And this same exoskeleton restricts or limits the growth of insects called what? The process whereby insects shed their exoskeleton from time to time is called what? Molting. And molting prevents what? It limits what? The growth of insects. So please take note of that. It is very, very important. Now spiders make use of exoskeleton. Spider make use of what? Exoskeleton, skeleton, and blood pressure. Alright, spiders make use of what? You know, spiders respirate with, insects, they respirate through with the use of what? Trachea, okay? And spiders, they make use of what? Exoskeleton and what? Blood pressure. Please take note of that. Or fluid pressure. Let's use fluid pressure. Fluid pressure, okay? So, is there another one? It's found in insects. Now, we now have the other type of muscle called what? Hydrostatic skeleton. Another type of skeleton, sorry. Called what? This muscle. Hydrostatic skeleton. Now, hydrostatic skeleton is found in soft body animals. It is found in soft bodies what? Animals. They move because their body is filled with what? Fluid. And examples of animals that possess hydrostatic skeleton are worms and sea animals. Sea animals have hydrostatic type of what? Skeleton. So please take note of that. And we now have number 3, the endoskeleton. Endoskeleton is a type of skeleton that is found inside the body of what? An animal. Examples are what? Mammals and other words. Mammals and chordates. Okay. Phylum Chordata has param, Pisces, amphibians, reptiles. Pisces, apes, reptiles, amphibians, and what? Mammals. Okay, all chordates, they have what? Endoskeleton. So please take note of that. Now we also have axial and appendicular skeleton. Axial and appendicular skeleton. Axial and the axial skeleton is made up of the skull, vertebral column, and the rib cage. Alright, the axial skeleton is made up of the skull, vertebral column, and what? Rib cage. That is for that. And number 2, we have the appendicular skeleton. The appendicular skeleton is made up of limbs and girdles. You know that the girdles, we have the pelvic girdle, and what? The pectoral girdle. Alright, so these are the two types of what girdles that we have: the pelvic girdle and what the pectoral girdle. Now the skull, you know that the skull is that part that houses the brain. That it is called what? The brain box. It houses the brain. The vertebral column is what? The backbone. It's called the backbone, and they are what? 33 in number. They are 33 in number, and the rib cage is a part of the rib that looks like what? Cage, where the ribs are what? Found, where they are located, where they are what? Enclosed. Now we have the appendicular skeleton made up of limbs and what? Girdle. We have the limbs is what? The arms. The upper part of the limbs is called what? The humerus. The upper part of the limbs is called what? Humerus, while the lower part is made up of ulna and what? Radius. The upper part of the limbs is made up of humerus. The lower part, there are two bones here called the ulna and the radius. Now the muscles of the wrist, the bones of the wrist are called what? Carpus. The bones of the wrist are called what? Carpus. Then the bones of the palm is called what? Metacarpus. Meta means what? After. That is after carpus. Then the bones of the fingers are called what? Phalanges. Bones of the fingers are called what? Phalanges. Take note of that. Now, we have the girdle, right? I said we have the pectoral girdle and what? The pelvic what? Girdle. So the pectoral girdle is made up of, okay, the pelvic girdle has two bones that forms what? Hollow cavity, and we call it what? Pelvis. All right, the pectoral girdle is made up of what? Two bones that form hollow cavity called what? The pelvis. So please take note of that. It is very, very important. Now the pectoral girdle is made up of, the pectoral girdle is made up of, let me rub off this place, please. The pectoral girdle is made up of scapula. Scapula is the shoulder bone. Two, we have the clavicle bone. The clavicle bone is what? The collarbone. The collarbone. Now, the scapula and the clavicle make up what? The pelvic girdle. Now, the shoulder dislocate because the head of this humerus has what? Removed from what? The scapula. There's a dislocation of the shoulder because the head of the humerus, which fits into the glenoid cavity. The textbook did not make use of glenoid cavity, okay? I'll say it, glenoid cavity. The shoulders dislocate because the head of the humerus that fits into the scapula has what? Shifted, leading to the what? The stretching of what? Muscles and what? Ligaments. Now, ligaments is that part that join bones to bones. Then tendons joins bones to what? Muscles. So please take note of that. It is very, very important. Is there another point? Now let us discuss joint. I said joint is the meeting place of two or more bones in order for them to what? Articulate. In order for them to articulate. Now we have three types of joints. We have the immovable joints. Example of this immovable joint is what? The suture line. Is what? The suture. You know, the suture is that part of the skull that joins the five major bones of the skull which are the frontal bone, the nasal bone, the temporal bone, the parietal bone, and what? The occipital bone. So example of immovable joint is what? The suture. 3, we now have partly movable joints. Partly movable joint is found in the vertebrae of the what? Vertebral column, which is what? The backbone. And the vertebrae has what? Cartilage that brings about what? The easy movement of this partly movable joint brings about what? Movements, and allow the contraction of the movement of what? The vertebrae of the what? The vertebral column. Now, number 3 type of joint is what? The synovial joint. Now, the synovial joint brings about the highest level of what? Flexibility. It also allows what? Movement. Now, the synovial joint is made up of a fluid called what? Synovial fluid. Synovial fluid. The fluid that the synovial joint comprises is called what? Synovial fluid. And this synovial fluid is found in the bursae. The bursae is that region where the fluid is what? Found. And it prevents what? Friction during movements. Please, the knee has 13 bursae. The knee has what? 13 bursae. Please take note of that. It is very important. Now, the lower leg has what? The tibia and what? Fibula. The tibia and fibula. The tibia is the largest part, is the biggest out of the 2 parts. Now, if you should check your leg now, you see 2 bones. You cannot see it. Or if you should check the structure of the skeleton, the upper leg is called the femur, which is the longest single bone in the human body. And the lower leg is called what? It's made up of tibia and fibula, and tibia is the largest of the 2. So at this point, we call it a day. And is there any other parts that I did not drop? Is there another part I did not drop? I believe I made mention of the pelvis, which is an hollow cavity that is formed by the pelvic girdle. So please take note of that. So at this point, we call it a day. Please endeavor to subscribe, like, share, and comment.